The Hornets lose another tough one. Let's go, YouTube. Sports is life. First things first, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Now let's get into it. The Charlotte Hornets dropped another tough game today against the Cleveland Cavaliers, 102-101. It was a tough game all around. They were down by as much as 26 points, made a fierce comeback in the end, and due to some late calls from the ref that I don't agree with, they ended up losing with 2 Kevin Love free throws with 1.2 seconds left to go. Another heartbreaking loss in as many weeks. The Charlotte Hornets have now lost 3 straight and now are in the 9th seed. It looks like they are headed for the play-in game. It looks like it's going to be another year where they're not going to be able to make a top 6 seed. Again, they did not shoot well from the field, around 40%. Cavaliers have Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, and they play some defense. They play some defense, and as everyone knows, Charlotte plays no defense. So when Charlotte is not hitting threes, they're struggling from the field. It becomes a real struggle for them because they don't play any defense whatsoever. So a team that's a little bit more offensively challenged will have a good game against Charlotte, whereas Charlotte really struggles to play defense, which leads me to my next point. I think for Charlotte to be able to go to that next step, get to that next level of being a top 6 seed, they're gonna have to make a trade. I know that Mitch Kupchak likes this young team, and he feels like he's playing with house money, but the clock is ticking. You have LaMelo Ball on a rookie contract. This is when you've got to strike. You got to strike while the iron is hot. We had another bad game by Gordon Hayward, H2O. Only 13 points, 3 for 13, I believe. I'll throw the stats up there, but another bad game by Gordon Hayward. Terry didn't shoot the ball all that well. Miles Bridges was solid, but again, when Charlotte really needs a stop, it's hard for them to play defense. So looking at the trade deadline coming up next week, Charlotte really needs to make a trade. They need a center. They need a defensive center, whether that's a Rashawn Holmes from the Sacramento Kings, or a Miles Turner from the Indiana Pacers, or even a Christian Wood from the Houston Rockets. They really need someone at the 5 spot that can play some defense, because right now Mason Plumlee and PJ Washington is just not getting it. You cannot get a stop when you really need it, because obviously Terry Rozier and LaMelo Ball are not the best on-ball defenders, and once the point guard or 2 guard or wing blows past them, it's a free lane to the basket, because Mason Plumlee is not gonna stop anyone. Another 6-foul game for him. He fouls out midway through the 4th quarter, and the way that James Borrego plays his lineups, he's not bringing anyone off the bench. He's not bringing another big man off the bench. So Anderson, JT Thor, Kai Jones, Vernon Carey, any of these other guys, James Borrego isn't playing them. He's playing these small ball lineups, and so PJ Washington at 6'7", going up against a Jared Allen, Evan Mobley. Both those guys are 6'10", 6'11", 7 foot, 7'3" wingspans. That is not going to cut it. That is not going to cut it. So the Charlotte Hornets need to make a trade. They need to make a trade as soon as possible. I'm not sure who they can get. I know that they're not going to want to send over a big package, but they got to get a defensive center. This year is showing a big hole in Mitch Kupchak's thinking, because all he got was Mason Plumlee, and Mason Plumlee has not done the job. Charlotte would be a really solid team, maybe a top 6, top 5 seed if they had decent center play. decent center play. Right now, there's so many points that are left out there because Mason Plumlee cannot effectively handle a pick and roll. He cannot pick and roll with LaMelo Ball and then crash to the basket because as soon as he gets a pass, he can't finish. Charlotte is one of the, outside of Miles Bridges, they're one of the worst finishers at the rim. So again, a center or a power forward, someone that is active and that can move, that is really needed. Tell me what you think, Charlotte Hornets fans. Tell me what you think that they need. We got that trade deadline coming up, and they need to make a move. It needs to happen now. Drop me a line. Tell me what you think. Everyone take care. I'm out.